You have sweet dreams. Girls, stop kissing the pictures so much. I'd have to mock scold them. Then we'd sing Shehekeyanu, a blessing that thanks God for bringing us to a special moment. The girls would dance to our happy song. The four of us ambled toward one of the small hills just off the trail. Dry and crusty leaves, liberated from months under ice and snow, crunched beneath our feet. Tiny green promises of spring on the tips of the tree branches broke through the barrenness. I patted my jacket pocket for the photos like a traveler feeling for her passport. It was chilly but dry, and we were bundled in heavy sweaters. "It's cold," Elisa complained. "Why are we here?" Hillel asked with an edge of complaint. "You'll see, sweetie," I said in a perfect sing-song, hoping my coyness wouldn't send her into a fit of Hillel rage that would surely spoil the plan. Instead of the perfect ritual, Yosef would carry a kicking child to the van, Eliza would be relieved, and I would be furious at everyone. But fortunately, we quietly continued on. Our silent ascent, with only the sounds of our footsteps and the occasional snapping twig, made me think of our biblical father, Abraham, walking up a different mountain with his son Isaac, on his way to heed God's call to sacrifice the boy. Their walk was defined by a silence interrupted by only a single interaction. "Father," Isaac said, "here is the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God will provide the offering, my son." What kind of God would call parents to sacrifice their son? A distant, impervious, indifferent God. The same God, I imagined, that in stark silence had demanded as much from Adar's birth mother, whose fate the adoption agency hadn't known. The same God that had randomly granted us her child. Abraham bound Isaac to an altar and held the knife in the air above him. An angel of God called out, "Abraham, Abraham, do not raise your hand against the boy." Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught in the brambles, the true sacrifice. Suddenly, God was no longer an indifferent absence. God was the ability to stretch and transform reality, to save a child. This was an ability life circumstances had granted me, but had not granted my new son's birth mother. Upon our own little mountain, Eliza sat on Yosef's lap, protected from the cold ground, and Hillel sat on mine, wiggling her tush to get comfortable. I breathed in Hillel's hair and kissed her head, so grateful that I could hold my daughters, raise them, love them, that I would also be the mother of this new baby boy. Joggers and dog walkers passed below us. "Hey down there, want to see some pictures?" "Girls, we have a surprise for you," I said. "You have a new baby brother. His name is Adar, and he's a month old," Yosef added. I looked at the girls expectantly, smiling broadly to encourage the same from them. Hillel spoke first. "Can we get pizza?" she said. "Pizza," agreed Elisa, jumping up. They both began running down the hill, bound for pizza. "Wait," I called, "we have pictures." I waved them in the air like an evangelist with a pamphlet. Our perfect moment had sucked. Yosef put his arm around me. "I'm sorry, honey. I know it didn't go as you hoped," he said. "Self-centered little shits," I said about my 5- and 3-year-olds. That night, the wind whistling softly through the open window, tinkling the wooden box of chimes I had placed on the windowsill when we moved in, imagining the peaceful, quaint childhood the room would hold. Hillel cried out in her sleep. She tossed and turned, her face scrunched, a tear ran down one cheek. "Mama's here, sweetie girl. Everything's okay," I whispered. Oh God, did something horrible happen to her? I scanned my mind for any unsavory staff working at her daycare. Or maybe she was longing for, worried for, her baby brother? "Oh, stop it," she said. "What's the matter, baby?" I spoke gently, stroking her head. More weepy tossing. "Tell me, baby, what is it?" Finally, she called out loudly and clearly, "Stop copying me!" Hillel did not take kindly to imitation. That would be her nightmare, even at age 3, that others were copying her thoughtful, intricate drawings and paintings. No, she was not reliving a secret trauma or longing for Adar. I laughed. The sweet combination of surprise and familiarity deepened my tenderness toward her. As I kissed her forehead, I thought of my son, still a mystery, a continent away, far beyond my touch. I wondered if he awoke crying in the night. If his birth mother, if she were still alive, reached for him in her dreams. By morning, the girls seemed to have acclimated to the news and were even excited. They huddled over Adar's